Susan. Oh, I thought I saw Bookie right now. I was gonna text Susan to be like, my queen, you deprived me of you for the last 1 week. I told myself today, I put it on my reminder, text Queen Susan. But yeah, Susan did say, hi Susan, good morning.
Good morning, Fumi. How are you doing? Sorry, I didn't turn on my camera. I will do that in due time. We had heavy rains. Yes, I've been quite busy in the last 1 week. It's been
Yeah.
from one thing to the other, and then over the weekend, I said, "Whoa, you've entered Gemini season. Go and oble." So I went to my friend's house to spend the weekend. Yes, I went to relax, and then it was not just I used it to relax, but for me, something happened. I don't want to go into the details, but a young man had his 2 legs chopped off from his ankle. So we needed to make him feel at home. We had to bring him in, I and my friend from Benue State, just to encourage him and tell him he's not alone. If it was 1 leg, it would have been easier, but I mean, 2 legs. So Saturday, Sunday, we were oblaying, making him know that even persons with disability have a life after disability. And it was all good, the hugs, the smiles, the dancing, rolling, and all of that, karaoke. And also yesterday I had a meeting and I'm back home. So yes, I'm back to HerLens full fledged. Thank you.
Wow. Over the week, you really had a great weekend. But I think what I want to say as well to you is first of all, I really, really admire. I feel like you have more fun than me, and I try to have fun. But you are the definition of what's that thing, that cheesy line they say, my background cannot put me on the ground. Very, very cheesy line, but you are that. My sincere heart goes to the young man, because I can just imagine how that would have been for him emotionally and psychologically. But again, thank you for always standing in the gap for persons with disability. Thank you for championing their causes. Thank you for showing us, every single one of us, that your disability, or your whatever it is that is, or whether physical or mental or whatever, should not hamper your progress, should not hamper you going and doing the thing and getting the bag. So yes, shout out to Queen Susan. You see why I call you my queen? What things that you missed? Oh, last week we had an episode. Is it episode? We had a day where we talked about disability. I don't know. Yeah, it was the news on the school that the landlord chased them out. Was that last week? Yeah, that was last week. You weren't around. Mrs. Oboli called. It would have been so lovely to have you. I thought you were going to come on Friday as well. So we'll just talk about it. But it was myself and Ibn Abba that, she did justice to it. I'm not sure Bookie wasn't around either. So that was what happened. That was one of the major reasons I missed you, because I wanted you to weigh in on that. But that being said, thank you for having a great weekend. Hi, Bookie. Hi, Ibn Abba. Good morning.
Good morning. And I want to give some claps to Queen Susan. Susan Tigoru Koleni.
My head is swelling like this.
Oh, no, honestly, for me, what gives me joy is hearing you say that you are there for your community, right? And it is only people that have not experienced, or they have not imagined, being in that, will say, what is it? But there are some people that all what they need is somebody to just say, it's going to be well.
Yeah.
Just somebody to be there, even if they have all their legs and their hands and everything complete. You understand that? It's not money they're looking for, but somebody to just see them to say, you know what, it's going to be well. Merely touching their hands, holding their hands, sitting down with them goes a long way for them. It's therapeutic. Not to talk of somebody whose legs just were caught, and he's seeing people coming around. I said, karaoke. You understand? And I heard you say you were rolling on the ground. No, so for him, it's like, okay, my life is not lost now. If these people can do this, which one be my own? I mean, let me just let me change my clothes, and join them. And for me, it gladdens my heart to hear that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for doing this. I know you do more, but thank God that you discuss this where we have to celebrate you. And when they say when they are praising you, it is not because anything. They just want you to do more. But we are here to support you. So good morning, Alan's family. How are we all doing? I hope you are there to support somebody, in their dark moments. People have dark moments, People do have dark moments. Reach out to them and just give them a word of encouragement. You understand? And it will be fine. Yeah. Thank you, Ibinabo. Good morning.
What an introduction. Good morning, beautiful ladies of our lens. Good morning, Olufumi J. Good morning, Lady Susan. Good morning, Lady Buki FA. It's great to be here, and it's great I met some things on ground, and I think they are beautiful. And I want to add that emotional support isn't fixing someone's pain. It is helping them feel not alone inside it. And that is beautiful. That is sincerity. Sometimes people feel that, hey, if you go and now say sorry, does that one now remove? Nobody is saying it removes it. But they don't feel alone in a situation. And that is very beautiful. That is very beautiful. Being emotionally available means, making space for someone else's feeling without rushing them. And thank you, Susan. Let me add my own voice to the ladies. Thank you, Susan, for being there for that person and then letting the person know that, hey, life never ends. A luta continua. Thank you. And good morning.
Thank you so much.
Our valued listeners, those beautiful ladies and those good-looking, handsome gentlemen, we say good morning to you. Thank you.
Yeah, we are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website, www.wfm917.com. Our phone lines are opened to, if you want to weigh in on the conversation, 07000-917-917 or 0800-123-5917. You can also send a text message, WhatsApp message, voice notes to 0703-1756537 or 08155-917-917. Okay. You ladies are always inspiring me. You know that always. I'm going to take an extra leaf again from Queen Susan's book to find a way just to toe the line of Lady Ibinabo. It's not just about, because sometimes you can say, oh, I want to be there for somebody, but then you're making it worse and it's a pity party. But just I did for you. Like what Susan did. Oh, we want to go on Oblay. Let's go Oblay. What we're not going to do is pity party or mope about our situation. We're going to find a way. Okay, what's the next point of action? What can we do? How can we? So yeah, I'm going to take that from my book. But yeah, to today's matter, the first one we're going to be talking about is this country is rotting from top to bottom. Chef Yemi, Sisi Yemi concludes after multiple cheating experiences. Now, what's interesting about this thing is that she did a follow-up on Twitter, and she actually did go to a supermarket to buy something, and she was overcharged. She just said something, told her to look at her receipt again, and saw that she was charged twice for something. Went back there, oh sorry ma. She collected her cash back. The organization was saying, we cannot refund you. They did anyway. She went to a resort. The receptionist was whispering to her that he will give her a discount if she put it into another account instead of the company account. Number two, she went to go and buy turkey, like chicken turkey, and there were 4 wings. She told them to cut it into two pieces. She was expecting 8 pieces. They gave her 7 pieces. The third thing that happened, she went to buy fuel. The bar went up, but immediately she drove out of the filling station, the bar dropped. So she thinks that there's a way, maybe they are pumping in air. She went back there and she said the babe was apologizing and filled her tank. You see, me, I don't play those games. I'm watching you. If my bad is not more, we will sit down there and we'll go and drag ourselves. But a lot of times we point our fingers at the government and say, oh, the government is corrupt. But if, like that proverb that says, if you point one finger at somebody, the remaining 4 are pointing back at you. what is it with the state of corruption in Nigeria? Even on the streets, you see people throwing things on the streets. You go somewhere to buy something, everybody's trying to find a way to one up you, to cheat you. But we are all in this together. But yeah, let's have the ladies weigh in on this conversation. I'm sure that they also have personal experiences from this, starting with Susan.
Okay. Yes. So for me, I don't know, maybe because I'm a science person, I don't like to generalize.
Mhm.
I don't like to say, oh, no. Are there people at the grassroots, you know, who are
Sorry.
doing what is not right? Absolutely. Thank you. Absolutely. But I am not going to, because I mean, I am at the grassroots and I'm not going to do anything that is wrong. It's a personal thing. I know that people are cutting corners and all of that just to, make ends meet. And I keep asking personally, how do you sleep at night? This also goes to what Mami Binabo, and Mambuki always says on this show. How are people raised? There are things that even if I am 60, 70, I don't think I will do it. Not because of it, but I wasn't raised. It's not my thing. It's not
Mhm.
my thing. So I like that the lady is Nigerians, we like to generalize when I have had my fair share. Okay, most of my movements are done through Uber, InDrive, or Bolt.
Mhm.
And you find out that these drivers these days will always tell you, mama, you will add something. Oh, that money on the app is not enough, because fuel is expensive. But they don't even know where I'm getting the money I want to step out with. They don't even know if I'm doing it by choice or it is just mandatory that is the only way I can leave this apartment of mine. So, I mean, what is that? Is it not corruption? And I have also seen cabs that take people out and they do not even ask for an extra.
Hmm.
This is just one out of the many things that happen. She had a bad experience. I absolutely agree. But should that be the reason to generalize for over 200 million persons telling us even in government, we still have good people. Even in government, there are people who are bad. There are people who are good, I beg your pardon. There are people who still have the fear of God. So, yes, you might have one bad experience, but do not generalize. That is the truth. We just spoke about my engagement over the weekend, from a 1 week program. I just landed into this and all of that. Why did I do that? By next month, it will be my birthday, and I have lived more of my life as a person with disability, living 45 years with a disability. Not that I am 45 years old. I do not want those coming behind me to also suffer the challenge. Nobody held my hand for me. No single person anywhere. In fact, I had finished OND, finished my first degree before going through papers and even connecting with the disability community for the first time. You can imagine that. So I was doing my thing. Yes, I saw people with disability, but I didn't know there was a community where you could do things, where you could assume leadership, where you could drive change. That person who is saying this can be the change.
Hi, Susan.
It's an individual thing, it's not a general thing. So I beg to differ. Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, we can hear
Okay.
you.
So, yes, there are corrupt people, but we can be the change. If I didn't share it on HerLens, you don't know the engagements I do daily, to try to improve the life of the next person, to try to advocate. Last week, we were with people from the Vatican and all of that, talking about human trafficking. Unfortunately, there is no data on persons with disability, yet in Lagos, you see thousands of them begging on the streets. Is it not someone that trafficked them from their states to those places? Everyone is making a difference in their own spaces and circles of influence. Social media is not our reality. People come out, people come to say things, for different reasons. Did she have a bad experience? Absolutely, we do. But we cannot generalize everybody under one bad experience. No. These are the things, that cause people to the whole of Nigeria. No, it doesn't work that way. I am a Nigerian. I'm not a bad citizen, and I'm not even going to indulge anyone doing the wrong thing. Once I book your ride, you tell me, I'm like, please, I know why I picked this particular ride, because this is what I can afford. And I just cut you off and look for another ride that will take what I have, and I keep it moving. So we don't need to generalize until we confirm that, yes, it is a general thing. If you do not have data, I work with data. I'm a science person. If you do not have data to drive any comment, you can sit it out. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Suzanne. And I hear you, actually do agree with you, but in what's the English of it? In a society where there's the news that we hear is majorly negative, or the corruption that we see, it surpasses the good. It's a bit I don't like to generalize either, but if I was even to say it, so honestly to God, I'd actually say, oh, Nigeria is corrupt, because the people that are doing good, they're just a handful, or that we don't hear about the good that they do. So evil has now permeated, or is what is winning, so to speak, quote and unquote. And unfortunately, here is where we are. But yeah, let's move to Buki, who's our nation builder, to hear what she has to say. Buki. Network is, oh dear. Ibn Abba, over to you.
Okay. I thank you for me. I agree with Susan for the fact that she mentioned people should stop making this blanket statement about people and everything. But you see, as much as, yes, we talk about data, I want to say that when out of 10 persons, when 6 are in the habit of doing something, sadly, the rest 4 will suffer. There's going to be a blanket statement. There's going to be a conclusion that everybody is bad. I am a good person. I'm a person who, I always look for excuses for you for doing something wrong. I don't know why I'm like that. I give you excuses. I fish for excuses for you, this and that. But I know that you are bad. And I want to give you reasons why you are bad. Maybe not to you, but in my mind, it helps me to forgive you. But I tell you, do you know that I have had different, if I want to collect my experiences, so many years ago, I'm talking about over 10 years. I went over 10 years, I'm at 13, 14 years now. I went to a market in Lagos, Mushi Market. I wanted to buy, this Titus fish. So we needed it, a lot of it for something. So I said, okay. I went with one of my girls, one of my assistants, to buy this thing. And we were there. So I was having a discussion with her, telling her to go and get this there and go while I wait for the fish. So we bought this fish. I don't even want to price the fish safe, because I was tired. I just wanted to buy this thing and go home. This woman, as she was cutting the fish, me, if you are accountable, if you know how to count, so that you will not get into trouble. If you want to be accountable, then you should know how to keep records, so that you don't get into trouble, even while trying to be transparent and all of that. So while she was cutting the fish, my eyes were counting. 1, 2, 3. I thought she was done cutting, and she packed everything. I thought she was going to bend and pick. So I wanted to be sure that she was actually trying to be funny. By the time she did all of that, Eshema, this and that, I said, I now moved close to her to see for myself. She now bent down. Hey, Charlie, share why you go? This is about work, eh? It's so stressful. I didn't say, I just made sure that she packed everything for me. And I told her, I said, Enyile, you are the one selling fish. And you're the one still stealing your customers' fish.
Crazy stuff.
Problem. He said, Koriba. I said, please. I just carried the fish. Carry this thing to the car. I left the place. There was a time I went to the market. I wanted to buy a bag of rice. So I went with someone. And that bag of rice wasn't really for me. We wanted to give out this bag of rice. So we bought 2 bags. And I said to this person, I said, this bag, I'm suspecting OIB. You don't trust anybody else. I said, this bag, I'm sure they buy 50 kg. This bag don't look like 50 kg. She said, oh God. So I didn't argue. We went. Now she called me because she had to now weigh. She now, because of what I placed an awareness in her. So when we got home, she now brought out the scale to weigh. 50 kg bag weighed 41. Weighed 40. I said, you see, that she didn't actually, that market was Oyinbo market. That she didn't really know her way to that place. And let's go. I said, I have things to do. So that day she had to drive. I said, me, I'm not going to drive. She now had to drive. Took me everywhere. Did my, was my chauffeur, took me everywhere. Then we ended up at the market. As the man saw all this coming out of, it's like he knew what had happened. I just told one of his boys, go to that booth and bring out those rubbish people sold as 50 kg. He said, I'm saying this man that supplies us. I said, which one supply you? Go in there and bring the full bag. Nonsense. He went in there, brought out 2 bags of 50 kg. As a matter of fact, I realized that when they buy these bags, some of them come in, because not now human being they pack them now. Some will come even higher than 50 kg, maybe 51. 50, So he now brought out 2 that they were here to tamper with and gave to us. I said, go and bring do you have a scale? He said, bring your scale. I stood on the scale. I know my weight. Me, I have time now. I stood on the scale. I know my weight. So I said that the scale was for real. So we now weigh the rice. And I said, why do you people do this thing? Do you know that we have to burn for to come back to you? Was not apologizing. Was asking whether he could give us a bottle of granite. I said, who asked me this?
Drinker.
Go and sell it and make your money and stop cheating. That was happening. So there are so many stories like that. Look at 2 different markets. Oyinbo is far from Mushi, and we have the same. And I could go on and on and on. So you see, when the same thing happened to me, I went to a supermarket. I bought stuffs because I bought a lot of things. The one was just stop to enter it twice. Me, after they put everything by the side, I said, don't make mistake, because if you make mistake, I'm not buying anything, no. But what they normally do, they not make you pick something that is equivalent to their mistake.
Change, yeah.
That was how we discovered that. She made me pay about 7,000 extra. I stood up to collect my 7,000 naira from her without really one kobo. So you see, when you have such experience, it's like, what is it gone? I know that I will never do it. Sorry for taking our time. There was a time I went to buy something frozen, sir. Maybe chicken or fish, I can't remember it. It's a long time. And this woman gave extra. She didn't know because there were so many people. It was during the festive period. She's maybe like somebody giving 8 kg, 6 kg. You understand? And when I got home and I realized that, I said, you know that same night, I realized later, I had to drive back to Mushi to return that chicken. I said, I made a mistake. See what you did. She said, okay, I guess that was excess. She wasn't even kind enough to say thank you. Was there anything behind it? We're Africans now. deliberately give me extra so that I'll go and eat. And then what will happen? So you see, there is something, and to be honest, when a fish walks, it starts from the head. Head means home, head means workplace, head means government. We have heads everywhere. Heads means community leaders, head means everything. When the fish starts its rottenness from the head, let us be better, even at home, as parents, as older siblings, as friends, as community leaders, because honestly, we have suffered for the crime of a pocket of people. When you are family, they set you aside if you are African, if you are Nigerian especially. I have tested it several times, but I say, so please, Nigerians, we need to do better. We need to, irrespective of the economy, we need to do better. We cannot keep embarrassing ourselves like this and disgracing the good ones amongst ourselves, amongst us. I understand the angle of Susan, because when you are a good person and you do everything part or do what is right, and somebody is not coming to say Nigerians, it feels a certain way. But we have all experienced it. I've been at a place where sometimes I was at the UK border, but fortunately I met with a very funny and calm consular in
The immigration people.
It was so kind. In fact, the way he pronounced my name, hello, like I was shocked. I said, who told you how to pronounce my name well? That kind of a thing. So I was warmly welcomed. It's just something you experience every time because of what people have done with our green passport. Our nationals and foreigners who could get access to our passport. So please, people should learn to behave well, because your bad behavior is rubbing off on everybody. Then they use and they stain our own whites. I will not like her. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. I feel like the way you were able to tie up all the points, I do agree with you, because even me, when I go to the supermarket and maybe they're not paying attention, I'm like, oh no, I remember I went to buy, was it milk and something, 2 different items, and then the man instead he entered just one item, and even me, I was like, no, that's not how much I'm supposed to pay. Like, I'm meant to pay higher. And I told him, and he looked at me strange, like, oh, I can't believe that you actually told me to pay for 2 things. I'm like, plus I come to that market regularly. I don't want to be embarrassed the next time I come and say, oh, madam, you're not giving me my full money the last time. But at the end of the day, if you don't want to be cheated, don't cheat people, I think. But yeah, over to our nation builder, Buki Femi Ajala.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Sorry about the network.
All right. Because he's saying trying to reconnect, and I can see everybody I can hear. So that was why I asked. Okay, well, I will take it for that. How did we get here? Nigerians were truthful people. You remember, you must have been told the story that in those days, maybe 50, 60, I don't know. I mean, even if you are not around, you can put your fruits and the stones that make up the money, maybe 5 stones will make 5 pence or something. You put it there. So anybody passing by the road, once they see fruits, they don't even see you. Once they see, they put your money there. Even recently, somebody still mentioned it. She talked about culture shock in Ife when she went there. I mean, years ago, that she got to the market and she could hardly see people, but she saw people with, leaving their stores with fruits and things like that, and the money you're supposed to pay, and nobody dares, go there because it's a value thing. I know, the angle of the spiritual, if you do it and blah 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 blah. But what I'm saying is that the values are there, even from the home. Like Susan said, she was not raised like that. I also was not raised like that. So it still boils down to how are we raising our children? Right? That's the fabric of the nation. If you raise your children well, when they go out, right, they will speak for you. One happened to me maybe about a month ago. I was coming back from Abuja, and the person who normally helps me, drops me, blah blah blah. He said, "Oh, madam, you'll be going back to Lagos." I said, "Well, yes, I just came for a brisk matter and I have to leave immediately, I'm done and all that. And he said, okay, he can actually book my ticket. I said, oh, but somebody normally does it for me. He said, oh, no, let me do it. I said, okay, no problem. And then he now said, okay, I will pay. Now listen, he said, I will pay the normal rate. I'll pay the normal rate for economy, but you will put me on first class. Hold on. Are you listening?
Yeah.
That's number one shocker. And then he now said that even the name I will bear on that seat will not be my name. It will be another person's name. So I was still trying to get over the first shocker. And then he now did the second shocker. So for me was, no, I'm sorry. Because I have promised that you will do it and I have to go. Just put me in my economy, JJ, with my name. And I told him, I said, I don't do such things. I said, I don't do such things. Put me in my economy. That is the one I can afford. But you see, if I didn't have that value, I would have grabbed it, irrespective of if it was my name or not. The issue for us, and this is where I am going to wrap up, as people who are molding lives, I'm talking of parents, teachers, whoever, right? Let's do the right things. We are talking about values. Let's train our children. Black is black, white is black, not gray. You understand? Not gray. I mean, everybody has said, all their experiences and all that. This is just to tell us that it starts with us. Yes, you might be pointing one finger at the government. Oh, the government doing it. And like I always say, when you point one finger to the government, 3 fingers are actually pointing at you. You do what is right.
Yeah.
That person that you are training as a child today will become a teenager, will become an adult. And before you know what is happening, he will be the one that will go into Senate, will go into business world, will go into the bank. What you have taught him will go through. So let's leave the people that are there. You understand? Leave it to God. But you train your own people that this is the way, to go. And when we see it, we should talk. Just like she talked, Susan talked, me too. I refused. I said, no, I don't do that. So he knows my values. Thank you.
I actually like that, because I think that's another question. What is our, I've seen your hand, I've seen what the question is, what is our value system? Do we have a value system in Nigeria? What do we believe in? What happened to things like honesty? What happened to things like kindness? What happened to things like integrity? We don't have, like, is it that they're no longer there, or is it that there is there, but evil has permeated society, the fabric of society, so much that when somebody is now honest, it seems like the person is doing too much. Wait, what do you mean? Now only you kill Jesus. You hear things like that, and now people who are actually honest are afraid to be honest about things, are afraid to be seen as persons of integrity, are afraid to just stand for what they believe in, because they would be seen as, doing too much. But yeah, Ibn, let's hear you before we go to Susan.
Okay, thank you very much, Fumi. I was just something just popped up. The government. When you say the government, it's not as if you are sitting with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It's not as if you are sitting with Governor Sanwo-Olu. It's not as if you are going to be sitting with Governor Abiodun and other governors and other government high office holders and all of them. But when you say government, we mean government parastatals. We mean government institutions. Do you understand? Now, I want to take us to the immigration office, the passport office. I want to ask, you see why it is difficult. Corruption is difficult to be eradicated in Nigeria. If you want to apply for a passport via the normal, going through the normal process, all the normal procedure to put documents together and everything, almost 2 months, you never see your passport. If you are not careful. Sometimes God, you come back and start all over again. Their office, and you are lucky enough for somebody to introduce it to you. If you want it in a week, it comes with a price. If you want it in 1 month, it comes with a price, and like that. So what am I seeing here? And you find a lot of people, essence of people who are highly, who are respected in society, people who are supposed to be mentors, people who are supposed to have a lot of integrity. And when they get to that point, they pay extra for them to get this passport on time. You see, in most of these government institutions is a problem. It encourages corruption. It wants to make you that you have integrity to even queue behind those who don't have integrity. Because even when you want to get I'm talking from experience, as some persons, experience that I know. Want to get a passport, and you're going to go through all these quick routes. How much you go, hey, go finish, you can't be frustrated. I don't like it. But what do? I need my passport, or I want to renew my passport, or somebody wants to have a passport. And then again, non-national Nigerians, they have access to our passports. Because there is a system that has been put in place by some persons that if you can pay a certain amount of money, you can get a Nigerian passport. And do you know that even government, I had that experience recently with somebody. Government is trying to put in place some measures to deter non-nationals, foreigners to get our passport. But then again, they have looked for a way around it. They'll tell you, go and bring your indigenship letter. Go and do this and that. And when you go to your that community that you are claiming to have come from to get the indigenship, you only need to bribe 1 or 2 persons. And they will bring out the indigenship for you, and you take it to the passport office, and you get the Nigerian passport. So you see, we need to come to the government for their own role that they are playing in this. When we say government, we are talking about various sectors of government, not necessarily Mr. President, not necessarily Mr. Governor, but those they are put at the to do the right thing. Because if you don't, somebody will take advantage of those loopholes you have created and do what is not right. And this becomes a norm. An imam who will preach, talk about good behavior, go to passport office and go and find a way around to get his passport in 1 week or even in a few days. A pastor, a bishop will do the same thing. A moral instructor, go there and look at, if I want to go the normal route, let me go. Do you understand? So we even still need the government to put right people in the right offices and to check and balance things, so that in some aspects, if you want to remain a man of integrity, you will not have to follow the bandwagon because they will frustrate your life. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ibinabo. Over to you, Susan. And I like the parts that where you bring the government in, because again, like citing the example of passports, I remember the first time I went, first time I went to get my passport with my parents, I was a child, so I don't remember how that, but I knew that somebody took us there. The memory of that one, I don't know. The first time I went through someone as well, because I didn't even know my left from my right. I think I just finished from university. I wasn't sure how to go about it.